Welcome to Turtle WoW News with Vrograg. I'm your news anchor orc, Vrograg Fishlayer, here to bring you all the server news for the week of November 7th, 2023. I am broadcasting once more from Frey Island because the reception for the broadcast is good and I like the fishing here, but you didn't come here for that. Today, we'll be going over some exciting announcements on 1.17.1, checking in on the auction house with Market Watch, and going in depth with the Goblin Brainwashing device. But first, top stories. I'm the Orc, and here's the news. Our top story this week is to cover what was touted as the trial of the century. The accused Gel Velfang was found guilty of robbery, kidnapping, and a whole host of other charges. In a report filed to the news desk by Pip Zarati Squigglebug, the editor and co-publisher of the RP newsletter, The Paper, the trial was anything but ordinary. Nearly 40 people came out to the courthouse to observe the trial presided by Chancellor Waylon Holt. Before the trial could get fully underway, a hooded and hidden orc assailant suddenly sprung from the gallery and caused a great commotion when they charged into the crowd, turning into a banshee. After the mysterious assailant was dispatched, the trial continued with Gale claiming that they were mind-controlled during the time in which the crimes happened. After the prosecution, led by Lieutenant Sparkwire and Sergeant Wanko, rested their case and Gale gave closing statements, the jury was unable to find the human innocent. Guilt before innocence being the law of the land, the Chancellor sentenced Gale to be hung in the gallows outside of the stockades in Stormwind. The hanging, too, did not disappoint. Evidently, the first attempt did not work. Gale was simply left choking. A rescue attempt was made, and then suddenly a band of horde assailants assaulted the gallows area. Once order was restored, there was a second hanging, and this one worked. Who was the banshee that attacked the courtroom? Were the horde attackers part of a planned diversion to try and free Gale? Many more questions remain, but for now, those victimized by Gale have some measure of justice. Make sure to check the events channel in the Turtle WoW Discord so you don't miss any events like this. I have a feeling this court case may have some lingering effects, and who knows, maybe you'll be part of the story too. Thank you to Pip Zarati for filing this report. Our next top story involved a post made by Dragonovi in the announcement channel linking to a video made by the Turtle team covering the labor struggle of the Durotar Labor Union and their fearless leader, Grand Taskmaster Nert Blastendom. The message from DLU's spokesperson Zappo Zaplast and esteemed media colleague of yours truly, the Union stands as a beacon for refugee goblins who seek fair wages for fair work. We here at Turtle WoW News do have an ongoing investigation to confirm the veracity of these claims of fair labor rules being enacted and safety equipment being used, but for now we are happy that Ogrimar's next-door neighbor has found a home and prosperity in the unforgiving lands of Durotar. Also included in the announcement was an update on new items coming to the server when 1.17.1 drops, this time in the form of new character customization options. A graphic revealed many new hair, skin, and jaw options for the denizens of Azeroth. We'll make sure to keep you updated on any news regarding the patch's progress as it becomes available. Our last top story was about an important interview that happened this last week between radio host Dan from his show Living in the Past, wherein he interviewed Quest, a Turtle team developer, speaking about the upcoming alternative tier sets. Many in the community who missed the program have expressed interest in listening to the interview. Fortunately for them, Dan let me know that the radio team is currently working on a way to upload the content of the interview to the Turtle WoW YouTube page. So make sure you keep your eyes peeled and give the Turtle WoW team's channel a subscription so you don't miss out on any important content when it drops. We'll leave a link in the description below to their channel. Alright, that wraps up our top stories for the week. Let's head over to Market Watch to check out the auction house. Welcome to Market Watch, Turtle WoW News' exclusive coverage of the ups and downs of the auction house. All of our data is provided by and powered through the numbers given to us by wowauctions.net. Go to wowauctions.net for all your auction house research. With no other large market story shaping Azeroth's finances, we can jump right into the stocks that we follow weekly, starting with Arcane Crystals. Had a slow week compared to previous reports, trending up 10%, finishing the week at 32 gold. The crystal is likely still correcting from the previous market bubble, but otherwise remains around August norms for valuation. Black Lotus trended lower, falling in price by 7% to round out the 2 weeks at 25 gold. The supply keeps flooding in from the increased chop chance a few weeks ago, and will likely see more price correction in the future. Cured Rugged Hide had a volatile but strong and steady climb recently, boasting 2 price peaks over 24 gold, though ended the period around 21. We can see that the cooldown hide has shown recent strength and may continue another rally soon. Crafting alts, be ready. Grom's Blood showed remarkable upward trajectory in price, trending up over 20%, even once breaking the 1 gold mark on the 28th. Demand remains high for the herb and shows promise of a resurgence in the future versus its previous ahistorical norms. Large Brilliant Shards gave investors a wild ride since the 23rd, at times shooting up 50% and one time on the 1st of November, falling to 2 gold 29. Given the recent spike and continued volatility, demand might soon outpace supply, so be advised, enchanters, brighter days may be ahead. Mooncloth trended flat, though had a rally up to 24 gold on the 30th of October, but otherwise remained near or under the 20 gold mark. This type of pattern shows that demand seems to outpace the supply normally available on the auction house. Savvy investors would do well to keep track of the cooldown cloth. The big winner since the 23rd is without a doubt the stone scale eels, and the fishes that have them. In the recent time window, we can see that the slippery little guy trended up over 200%. It goes without saying these prices are wildly different than the values that we've been collecting for the newest member of the SNV7. When will the good times end is hard to say, or is this the new norm? Now on to the SNV7, Turtle WoW's only index of the stocks we covered here. Due in part to Stone Scale's continued overperformance and the minor price jumps with other commodities, the index remains high, ending most recently at 20 even. One consequence of the GM team eliminating fishing and farming bots is that supply will dwindle while demand remains strong. This might initially be painful for those that need these materials, but will incentivize others to start farming themselves. Hopefully, we'll see the index lower soon to temper inflation worries. Alright, that is all the market news we have for now. Remember to keep an eye on your coin, otherwise someone else will for you. Let's get back to Vrograg. Last week we covered 3 changelogs, which means we don't have one for this week to cover, but that didn't stop something from happening with the changelogs we covered previously. So today, for our feature story, we have an in-depth look at the surprise announcement and fallout with changes made to the Goblin Brainwashing device on Halloween, where it seems the players got a trick, not a treat, when it came to the function of the Goblin Brainwashing device. The mobile respec gadget, known as the Goblin Brainwashing device, was changed on Halloween to no longer save any specializations that hadn't completely used all of a character's talent points, much to the surprise of many players who normally utilized it to freely specialize in a variety of ways. To those that are new to the server, or may have never purchased one, the Goblin Brainwashing device is a summonable item that, when right-clicked, gives players a way to reset their talents on the fly and save 2 specializations. This quality of life item was added by the team to the game all the way back on July 4th, 2021, and was purchasable either through the donation shop or with a lump sum of gold equaling 350 payable to a goblin vendor near the Gurabashi Arena. Overall, the reception to the gadget was warmly received by the community at the time. However, it didn't take long for players to find an even better use for it, essentially limitless respecs. See, the device was only capable of saving 2 talent point configurations. Trying any third setup required a talent point reset, and the gold needed, like at any other class trainer. But what if one of those configurations only spent 1 talent point? One could essentially use a save specialization to change into anything they wanted. For instance, a mage could put 3 points into elemental precision, a widely necessary point spend for most mage PvE builds, save it, and have 1 save specialization for any variety of PvE specializations they could use later. All the while, they would never have to spend a copper to respec. This use, whether it was intended or not, was widely known by players as a nice way to save gold and add utility to their character, which is why a lot of the community was upset with the change. Not only had they grown accustomed to this powerful utility over 2 years, but the announcement was not posted anywhere initially for the community to see, so it completely caught the community flat-footed. As you may recall, we did cover the October 30th changelog last broadcast, and I can assure you I would have covered it if it appeared on that changelog. But documents the news network was able to recover show that sometime following the reset on Halloween, the changelog was edited to have this change noted. In the immediate aftermath, there was a lot of confusion. Players in Raid not sure where their specializations had gone, lower level characters found that every time they leveled, their saves were cleared, and some poor souls clicked reset my talent points in panic 1 time too many, only to forget that resetting talent points still costs gold. The player community took to the forums unhappy with the sudden change in course for the long-standing glitch, and after a few days and some deliberation from the team, another announcement came out on November 3rd as a follow-up from player feedback. Jamie, on behalf of the team, said that the 1 talent point respec was not something that the team intended for the device, and that they feel it was an unhealthy factor for the game. However, they agreed that hybrid classes were disproportionately affected by this change. They now plan to keep the device as is, though there will be a chance for players to purchase with gold 2 more specialization saves, with 100 for the 3rd and 200 gold for the 4th, when the next server restart happens. To address the players who are leveling up and lost gold, they will be given 2 free talent resets, and to those that purchased the device on the donation shop within the last 6 months are eligible to get a refund for the purchase for the next 14 days. I made sure to follow up with TurtleWow's head of public relations, Achelix, to ask some follow-up questions in the wake of the brainwashing debacle. According to the team spokesperson, there are no current plans to change anything else that appears on the donation page. Furthermore, the fact that this big change went into effect without being posted anywhere until after the fact was largely an oversight by the team. In fact, I also learned that within the team, while they deliberated on what to do about the situation, Achelix characterized the deliberations by saying people on the team were quite unhappy with the lack of communication. So at least the players and server runners have that in common. We will continue to watch this story as it unfolds and monitor the impact it is having on the player community. Make sure to let us know how you feel about the change made to the Goblin brainwashing device in the comments below. Well, that is all the news we have for this week. I'd like to thank you for tuning into the broadcast, and I hope you learned something. My media plans for this week may include producing another role player community calendar segment for the radio team. I released one last week. Make sure to let me know if you caught it. I, of course, intend to do my weekly fishing chat this Saturday, 12 noon East Coast Standard Time. This last Saturday, we had a great time going lava fishing in the heart of Black Rock Mountain. Yeah, this is all a ruse. I don't care about anything except getting Dance Studio and Turtle Wow. I think they're my best chance. I don't know how it'll work, but I will leverage every ounce of good faith and social capital I have to get Dance Studio. Mark my words. If you'd like to catch up with those streams, the VODs are all available on the live tab of the channel. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this content and want to be updated for when I go live next or have a news broadcast to share. Furthermore, I welcome and enjoy comments and constructive criticism on how to make the program better, so feel free to leave a comment or contact me privately. All of my socials should be listed in the video description. It's just about time to head out. The fish are calling me. I wish you all the best in your endeavors in Azeroth or elsewhere. Thanks for being a part of this community. You're all great. Make sure to stay safe, be good to one another, and as always, remember, the deadliest weapon is knowledge.